Sharanagati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guruv Paramam Shishurasmi Guruhu Matirasti Guru Mama Pahi Guru Satchidanandarupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tabatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayan Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranadah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare Achyudananda Govinda Madhava Satchidananda Narayana Hare Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare Sarvebhyah Namaskaraha. We are seeing the Canto 10 in Srimad Bhagavada Mahapurana. And in my last video, we saw that Nanda, he came to the palace of Kamsa to pay his taxes, yearly taxes, annual taxes. And after paying the taxes, he went to see Vasudeva and Devaki Devi. And they both blessed Nanda for having a child at this advanced age. And then Vasudeva said that one of my son was going in your Gokula and seeing you and your wife as father and mother, and you're taking care of him as your own son. And at that time, Nanda did not understand anything, and he said all is at the play of that unseen. And he kept quiet. And then Vasudeva cautioned that, Nanda, you better go back to your Gokula very soon because I could feel some bad omens everywhere, he said. And so Nanda, he came back, or he rushed back to his Gokula with all his men. On the way itself, on an open ground, he saw a very big body lying down, and many trees were under that body, a very big figure with the hands and legs outstretched. But he saw that he didn't understand anything, so he was walking quickly to his house. Meanwhile, when in the absence of Nanda, when Nanda has gone to pay taxes to Mathura, what happened in Gokula was, there was a very big demon by name of Putana. And she was a demon who can change her form at any time and she can enter anywhere freely. And she was the friend of Kamsa. She was a very famous in infanticide because she will give her poisoned milk to infants and they will immediately die. So she was famous and known for that. And so Kamsa asked her to kill all the children born within that time limit, that is within 10 or 20 days, to kill all the infants, whoever it may be, you better kill them so that I can kill my killer. That's what Kamsa thought. And so Putana, after killing many children in and around Madhura city, she entered Gokula. And when she entered Gokula, she took the form of a very beautiful woman. And many these innocent Gopas and Gopis, they thought that she was some rich woman, some divine person coming to bless the newborn infant. So they all wished her. And Putana also exchanged back the wishes. And she came directly to the house of Nanda. There, Yashoda Devi and Rohini Devi, they saw her and they too thought that such a beautiful woman, attractive woman, and divinely attractive. That's very important. Divinely attractive. We have never seen such a beautiful woman, and they wished her. Putana also wished her, and she saw that supreme being lying on that cradle. But she didn't understand it. She thought he is an ordinary infant boy. But Bhagavan, understood that, and he understood that this is Putana and she is coming for this purpose. He understood, but he kept quiet. And she took that infant in her hands, fondled him for some time, took him out, and gave her milk, poisoned milk. What Bhagavan did was he sucked out the milk along with her life energy, prana. And suddenly Putana felt some suffocation. Her eyes was protruding. She had an ordinary form, that is, her original form came back. She was perspiring, running here and there with that baby, and she shouted, Alam, Alam, enough, enough, Muncha, Muncha, she shouted, release me, release me. No way, Bhagavan didn't release her. He sucked out all the life energy from her. And Putana ran to a distance and she fell down, pulverizing all the trees and plants and everything there, and she fell down. She was such a big figure, stretching out hands and the legs. She was lying like that, and she died. And Bhagavan, this little Krishna, he was on the chest of Putana playing with all her ornaments and all that. When this Gopas and Gopi, they came running and saw that big figure was lying down, dead, and this infant boy was on that dead body. So no one had that guts to go near that body because it was such a big body. They have not seen such a big figure itself. So one or four or five that prominent gopas, they just climbed through the hands of Putana, then near the chest, and they took the infant boy, held him tight, and came running and gave it to Yashoda Devi. So Yashoda Devi didn't understand anything. What she thought was some evil forces have attacked my son. Poor Yashoda Devi, without knowing that he is the ruler of this world itself and all the positive and negative energies are controlled by him. She didn't understand that. And so she did all that rituals to ward off that evil forces like Dishti Parikaras and the common way in that grammar to ward off these evil forces is they will wave that tail of the cow over that infant boy. So like that they did, and they sprinkled everywhere with the panchakavya, washed everywhere with that cow dung, and they called brahmanas, they chanted mantras, and they touched the parts of the body of that infant, telling the Narayana Kavacha. So it is the Kavacha for Narayana itself. So they did that. And by that time, Nanda came and he asked the reason. So the woman said this. So what to do with this body now? How to burn it? How to dispose it? So what this Gopas thought was, we can cut it into pieces. And that pieces, and it was just like a mountain when they collected it together and they burned it. When that body burned, everyone could smell that sandalwood fragrance because Bhagavan sucked out all the papas in that woman. So like that, Putana died and she was burned to ashes. Now, who was this Putana? How could she come here to see Bhagavan? In that period, when Bhagavan took the incarnation as Vamana Murti, and he went to the sacrificial hall of Mahabali. Mahabali had a very beautiful daughter by name Ratnamala. When she saw Bhagavan entering inside that sacrificial hall, Vamana Murti, with that ambala in hand, that kamandalu in his hand, and when he was walking like that, that luster, that brilliance, that form, when she saw that young form of Bhagavan, in the mind, Putan, that Ratnamala thought that if this was my son, I would give him my milk and I will be happy after that. I will attain moksha after that, she thought. Bhagavan understood this, and the next Janma she became Putana because she was born without purifying herself. All that Ashura qualities were intact in her even in this birth, and she gave milk to Bhagavan and she was happy and she attained liberation. So this happened within the few days of birth of Bhagavan as this infant born. Now some days went after like this, very peaceful, and all Gokula was celebrating this. All are coming to see Bhagavan, and there is a custom in Indian tradition that in the third month the child will be taken out and will be shown the akasha or the atmosphere. And it was some families they will celebrate it in an elaborate way. No doubt, Gokula celebrated this ceremony for that little infant in a very grand way. On that day, Yashoda Devi gave birth for her child, and she applied kajal and all that, did all that makeup according to her knowledge, and she brought the child outside and she showed the akasha. And many, all that women and men of Gokula came there with the gift as they bought that is clarified butter, ghee, butter, and milk as gift. So they all placed all that gift on the veranda, and as Yashoda Devi, after the celebration was over, she placed her boy under a cart. She thought that it was so safe, and she asked some Gopa boys to take care of him, and she went inside to attend the guests and to give them lunch and all. So she went inside. Suddenly, everyone heard that infant crying, screaming, crying. When they came outside and when they saw this cart under which Yashoda Devi laid this baby, yet it was lying topsy-turvy, upside down, and it was completely broken. When Yashoda Devi asked this Gopa boys what happened, they said that this infant kicked the cart, but no one believed it. Who can believe it? A 3-month-old son kicking this cart? They didn't believe it. But what to do? Again, Yashoda Devi called all the Brahmanas and they gave them feast and dakshina. And they also said the Vedic mantras, chanted the Vedic mantras with the belief that Vipra mantra vido yuktas tairya proktas tatha shishaha tanishvala bhavishyanti nakadachita visputam. The blessing pronounced by the holy men who are well versed in the Vedas and who have the control of their mind. Such Brahmanas' wishes and blessing, they will never go in waste. So Yashoda Devi thought like this, and she invited all the Brahmanas and made them to again tell this Narayana Kavacha for this baby, and they did many rites to ward off the evil forces. Now Yashoda Devi and everyone in this village was so sure that some evil forces are attacking this young infant boy. And so that happened, and they didn't understand. They didn't say who it was because there was no other person in the nearby area to put this cart, big heavy cart, upside down. So what could they do? They didn't see anyone. Actually, what happened was it was Sakatasura. Sakatasura, in the previous Janma, he was the son of Hiranyaksha, and his name then was Utkacha. One day he went to the Lomasa Muni's ashrama, and playingly, just like that, he rooted out many trees which were many years old and he just threw it off in Ahankara. Lomasa Muni got very angry and he cursed this Utkacha, that is son of Hiranyaksha, that you will get the body of the yar. You will have the yar body, so that no one could see you. Because of the strength of this body only, you are just plucking out the trees, big trees. So you will not have this body strength, you will have the body of, yeah. And the son of Hiranyaksha, he pleaded with the Muni, I did this in my ignorance. And then the Muni said, now after this Manmantra, in the Vaivaswata Manmantra, when Bhagavan Krishna, when he kick you with his feet, then you will be released from this shapa. And like that, when Bhagavan kicked the air body of Sakatasura, he attained liberation. So that's what happened there. So again, some days went on. Very peacefully, they all were so happily in the Gokula. Always Yashoda Devi will keep her son in her lap, fondle him, just massage his hair and all. And this little Krishna, he will play here and there. So it's a routine there in Nandago. But when she was playing like this, some Gopas and Gopi passing here and there, they will also come and they will also play with this baby. So it was a happy time for the entire Gokula seeing Bhagavan Krishna in that infant form. One day what happened was, when Yashoda Devi was having Krishna on his lap, and suddenly she felt that the weight of the baby increased. It was so unbearable for her to keep him on her lap. So what she did was, she very carefully kept him down, and after some time she went to do some household work. And this little Krishna must know that then Bhagavan Krishna was not named. After that only he was named. But anyway, he was little Krishna, isn't it? And he was playing like this. Suddenly, there appeared a tornado. Tornado means it's a whirlwind, and everything is caught in that circle of that wind. In India, I don't think we have that tornado at all. But that happened, and it was Trinavarta Ashura. And this Trinavarta Ashura, he came in the form of a tornado, and he came and lifted the baby as a fierce whirlwind. And he lifted the baby up. And the entire Gokula was engulfed in darkness and dust. No one could see anywhere. They all were screaming that they can hear the voice, but no one could see anyone. After some time, somewhat the dust settled, and light came in, and Yashoda Devi came in and saw the baby. He was not there. So she screamed, she shouted, she cried, and all the Gopas and Gopis were searching for this baby. No one could see the baby anywhere. So they were just crying. And what happened the meantime was, this Trinavarta Ashura, he carried this baby to some height. And Bhagavan, by his power of Yoga Maya, he increased his weight to the extent that Trinavarta felt that he was lifting a big mountain and he could not hold that weight. So his force and speed gradually slowed down. And when it was slowed down, what Bhagavan did was, he just caught him by his neck and just pressed it. So in that suffocation with protruding eyes, Trinavarta, he fell down. He fell down on the ground. Again, he took that his original form at the time of death, with hands and legs outstretched. And suddenly the people of Gokula could see a big form lying down there, again pulverizing all that trees and the plants, everything there on the ground. And as Krishna was playing, little Krishna was playing on the chest of that Ashura. So again, some Gopas climbed on that big body, and took the baby out. Now, who is this Trinavarta? This Trinavarta, in his previous Janma, he was a Pandu Desha king. His name was Sahasraksha. He was a great devotee of Bhagavan. And as a king, he had many women, wives. And once he was playing with his wife, doing some sports or water sports. At that time came Durvasa Muni. And naturally, this king did not notice him. And Durvasa Muni got very angry. He cursed him that he will become a demon. And when the king pleaded, Muni said, by the touch of Krishna, you will be liberated from this form, from this demon form, and he attained liberation. So to release so many asuras also, Bhagavan took this birth. To destroy the asuras, to give liberation for these asuras, he took this form. And so in this chapter, that is 6 and 7, Putana, Sakatasura and Trinavarta, three of them were liberated by the touch of Bhagavan. And in between, what happened one day was when Yashoda Devi was keeping her boy on her lap, just like that, in that sleepiness, Bhagavan yawned. And when Yashoda Devi saw his mouth, she could see the entire universe, the earth on which she was seated, all the different planets, different stars, faraway galaxies. She could see everything, and what she thought that something was happening to her mind, and she just closed her eyes. And Bhagavan shut back her mouth also. So all these interesting incidents are happening in Gokula. Let us see what all other incidents happened in Gokula in my next upload. Om Namo Narayana Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.